Doug, what are the biggest concerns of U.S. health officials this Thanksgiving?
Well, you mentioned a couple of the key words there, and that is family gatherings. There's assumption among a lot of people that you only catch COVID from strangers, from people that you don't know. When you're walking outside on the street in public places, that's where the real risk is. The fact of the matter is, in the U.S., and the cases are now skyrocketing. They're at the highest levels they've been since the spring. Most of the transmission, the evidence suggests, really comes from these gatherings of inner circles, small family, close friend type gatherings, people that you think you're safe with, but in fact, they are just as much at risk of spreading it to you as anyone else. And also this asymptomatic carrier syndrome, whereby all of these millions of travelers, and there have been some days at least 1 million travelers a week passing through airport security checkpoints in the U.S. en route to far-flung relatives and reunions with them, that they are asymptomatic and that they're not the only ones boarding that plane, but that COVID is going along for the ride as well. So that is really the big concern of officials. Now, look, you did say that the numbers of travelers are down from the same period this year, sometimes sort of dramatically, 50 to 60%. But at the same time, a lot of Americans are flouting that, are flouting the guidance. And some surveys suggest that a little less than a third of them, about 27% of Americans surveyed, have said in recent days that they do plan to have Thanksgiving family gatherings with members of their family beyond their immediate household. That is in an extended family circle, exactly the type of gathering that both the White House Coronavirus Task Force and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention are warning against. They're saying, if you're not going to skip the turkey altogether this year, please limit it to your immediate household. A lot of Americans aren't listening to that. And in fact, there is a regional and even a partisan divide on whether they listen to the rules or not.
Doug, talk us through the numbers of COVID in the States, because they truly are astounding.
Astounding doesn't even begin to sort of measure the gravity of what's going on. On Tuesday, just yesterday in the United States, more than 2,200 deaths related to COVID were reported. Now, 2,200, astounding because you have to go back to May 6th. 6 months ago, more, to see similar numbers. We have had in the U.S. right now more than 1 million new cases of COVID, of infections reported in just the past week, with an astounding 173 to 175,000 average daily new cases being reported. You'll remember a few months ago, Anthony Fauci, the top disease expert in the United States, he was predicting maybe 100,000 a day. We're now at double that number in terms of new infections daily. You have states, 45 states, in which there is a sustained number of cases increasing. 45 states in which it just keeps going up and up and up. 9 further states, I think you could see some of those numbers there. 9 states in the U.S. are seeing twice as many cases as they did just 2 weeks ago. So this is a pandemic in the U.S. which, if not out of control, is right now increasing and spreading rapidly. And like you said, it's coming during a Thanksgiving season where the U.S., unlike some other countries, have not imposed very strict limitations and restrictions on the free movement of Americans. They just wouldn't go for that. So they're pleading, they're begging. Officials are down on their knees asking Americans, please stay put if you can this Thanksgiving.
Doug, just very briefly, how are President-elect Joe Biden and Donald Trump planning on celebrating Thanksgiving? Are they going to be following those rules?
Well, starting with Trump, we know that he has minimized and downplayed this virus all along, almost mocking it at times. But even he has called off his traditional big gathering at the Mar-a-Lago Country Club in Palm Beach, Florida. He usually has a ballroom dinner there, paying guests attend the event. Not this year. He and Melania, the First Lady, will be at the White House in the presidential mansion, presumably a much smaller gathering. Joe Biden will be celebrating Thanksgiving with a family of 3. We don't know who the third person is, but it is indeed a small gathering.
Doug, thanks so much for that. France 24's Doug Herbert there.